Chinese naval shipyards are busy producing PLA Navy warships. Over time, last year they added to the number of ships in existing warship classes, also introducing new ship classes built for the first time. What we are calling second round of China's recent witnessing shipbuilding frenzy to finish the plan modernization by 2035. Skillful technicians like myself are being hired to help build these new ships and the restorative process they represent. According to latest Chinese defense white paper, comes in 2019, China's national defense in the new era's strategic development goals. The Chinese military will nearly finish the job. 2035 military modernization. And 2. Makes the PLA a world-class fighter force by 2050. Plan naval expansion over. That context should frame the past decade. After corrective, notes from the 2035 white paper. Context should frame the past decade. In this, the first round of naval destroyer operations expanded between 2015 and 2019 focused on all-size surface combatants, destroyers, frigates, and corvettes. The majority of Type 52D and 55 destroyer construction occurred during that time. A brief pause followed, 2020 and mid-2022, partly due to pandemic and strict lockdowns to reduce its impact. Surface combatants were produced during this time, China continued, but most had stopped, to increase its capital ships like the Type 3 Fujian and Type 75 aircraft carriers LHDs. All construction begins late 2022. Warships came back to life with the sighting of 5 destroyers built simultaneously by Dalian shipyard. Then came more identification of Type 52D and 55 units at Dalian and Jiangnan shipyards. China builds many warships at once instead of constantly. They can afford it. Due to massive shipbuilding capacity can be used on commercial ships. We know this in 2025 number of destroyers being built across the 2 shipyards. We visually confirmed 10 Type 52D destroyers are being built, fitted mount after launch or sea trials. Regardless, these will join plan over the next few years. Additionally, reliable Chinese internet sources indicate 2 more units, but they haven't visually identified. For Type 55, 4 destroyers have been seen. Type 55 destroyer Batch 2, including the new ships being built, with the ones in service reach 35 through 37 Type 52Ds, 12-16 Type 55s. Higher numbers in range is total in service or will be, if you count all ships in service according to some sources, but not yet visually verified. If only counting verified ships, then just choose the lower number, adding 6 Type 52C and 2 Type 51C destroyers, with just under 60 modern air warfare destroyers for plan in a few years. And of course we have 9 more destroyers. Consider lower air defense capacity. The next generation made Type 54B frigates may enter service in 2025. August and October saw 2 ship launches of 2023, and both are undergoing sea trials. Throughout 2024, we cannot see. Confirmed more ships are coming for class, but it's possible more ship modules are being made, maybe not. Around 5,700 Type 54B tons displacement is 43% higher than 54A predecessor. The 54B improved active electronics scanned radar. It appears widespread. Using stealth features include these shielding and coating for radar/infrared signatures beyond hull shape. That design feature is most obvious. Fitting vent covers and frigate openings, such as anchor bow opening and vents next to inflatable boat bays. The Type 54B may be more conservative. Improvement over 54A imagined, with moderate improvement. Capabilities. Other nations want to build new frigates with more capabilities, for instance, UK Type 26 and US Constellation class. Some countries have discovered to their cost that adding technology to frigates is a recipe for extra costs and delays. The PLA Navy has balanced cost, competence, and timeliness. Satellite confirmation continues of building more nuclear attack submarines by Huludao's Bohai shipyard. Of course, satellite images vary greatly. quality can be hard to verify. New submarine launch assured. However, new submarines have appeared inside launching dry dock more often. Around 8 Type 93B submarines exist now, launched since May 2022, with 4 boats in 2024 alone. Their faster pace being built shows the massive expansion of last decade. The Bohai shipyard allowed for 5-fold submarine production capacity, much better than the Type 93B. The previous attack submarine class's large vertical launching system at 18+ missile cells, also shrouded, likely pump-check propulsion, using natural circulation cooling nuclear reactor option. The overall powertrain should reduce noise and submarine stealth. The next-generation nuclear attack submarines, Type 95 and ballistic missile submarines, there are no Type 96 yet. This is one area where our expectations should be delayed in timing. Exercise 3. Steel military preparation. Stretch. Flexibility in instrumentation. We still see new Chinese naval research and testing suggesting reasonable chances new technologies embedded. A submarine launch version for the 95 YJ-21 anti-ship ballistic missile larger VLSs carry more missiles and X-tails. Most visible in naval aviation progress is Type 2 sea trials. Initial Fujian carrier, 3 late April. The initial trial tested Fujian's sailing propulsion and maneuver at sea, its electrical systems and power generators, from official sources. The carrier showed ability to high-speed sailing, flexibility and make sharp turns. Reliable data, proof of foreign aircraft suggests U.S. recon assets trailed Fujian. The first sea trial ended with carrier return to base 8 May. This was closely followed rapidly by 2 more late May sea trials, July respectively. These sea trials, multiple aircraft sailed with the carrier fleet experimentation, Maple flight deck mock-ups, J-35 fighter and KJ-600 airborne early warning and control. However, the second trial focused on propulsion systems, finishing off with her speed and maneuverability where the first trial ended. She was seen maneuvering in the shape of 8, rapid reverse testing. In July's third Fujian trial, the carrier began testing radars and communication systems. In Trial 3, several aircraft flew nearby. Since this happened close to Fujian, they reached the Bohai seacoast and almost certainly Chinese planes. This raised questioning whether Fujian launched aircraft, but it's more likely from a nearby naval airbase, flew near the Fujian to evaluate its communication systems, possibly tactical air navigations. Land planes from Huangdikun Air Base arrived to assist with testing the radar and communications from Fujian. Fujian left on her 4th voyage in early September see a trial. This time the carrier sailed, alongside a destroyer and frigate. The ship's networking may have been tested. Regular aircraft sightings mock-ups indicate the carrier have been conducting sea trials, aircraft flight deck handling trials. This involves airframe movement while carrier is moving the plane between flight deck and hangar via elevators. This works with real planes, like the U.S. Navy or PLAN, sufficient for aircraft mock-ups. This trial's goal. Fujian finished her 5th sea trial by early December. Whether actual aircraft were involved launches. Results are being analyzed. Another notable change is that Liaoning carrier, PLAN's first carrier, completed her midlife upgrade earlier in 2024, improving her interior, control systems, and ability to operate China's future stealth carrier fighters. Undertook seafaring trials to ensure functionality before returning to duty. We have carrier fighters, several major J-35 developments, upcoming stealth carrier fighter. The first, we mentioned Liaoning carrier seen with J-35 models on its flight deck, including underway trials. This strongly suggests, nearly certain, that the J-35 will use China's 2 ski jump platforms, Liaoning and Shandong carriers, not Fujian only. Furthermore, the Chinese mid-September Global Times media report that a new warplane was tested on Liaoning. Unofficial media predicted the new plane could be the long-awaited J-35 next-generation carrier fighter jet. This seems unlikely now. the J-15T because a senior sailor on detail when the new plane landed, Liao Ning, said, "It felt like the J-15's debut away from ship." This implies it's unflown plane from the Liao Ning, so it refers to J-35. This suggests the J-35s took off from carriers at sea.